now present the offerings. This musician comes, he starts now throwing everything into the water. And as he does that, a huge fish comes from below, and they all stand, and now they start entering. So what I didn't understand is the fish is also another means of transport in the spiritual realm, and the serpent is also transportation in the spiritual realm. It can transport a spirit, and sorcerers use it. So they enter into the fish. These stories, we read them in the Bible. We read about Jonah in the belly of the fish for 3 days, and he's not dead, and spits him, and he's even praying while he's in the belly of the fish, and he goes and he preaches. You may think it's a story, but the spirituality of life is real. Things happen that in your physical mind you cannot even believe, but even if you believe it or not, the spiritual realm exists. So now we get to this place. The fish, we are inside the fish. You could of course feel like when it hits the water waves, it's like you're in a small plane, and you know how you get the ear irritations and all that, vomiting, darkness inside, fear. It's cold. It's not a good experience at all. It's like you're buried. It's like you're dead, you know. And then after we get ease, the fish opens its mouth. We get out with this gentleman. Now, the shocking thing about all these experiences, when we are entering, I'm in a glass. When we arrive, I'm not in a glass. I'm just chained. And I'm now my normal height. Because the soul, what they do, they can decrease it, but they cannot expand it beyond your size. It's your spiritual body. It has your emotions, your mind, your will. Everything is in that soul. So when they get the soul, they use the soul to control the body. So we get to a gate. We are now stepping out of the fish, and I've been instructed by this musician that whatever you do here, don't or avoid eye contact with any being. Whether it's me, because I had been seeing him when he was giving the offering, his eyes, the white part of his eye had gone up, like they were really possessed.
Like his eyes were rolling to the back of his head.
Yes. So now I'm okay avoiding, but something happens. I see this same snake that had now been directing us. Now I'm seeing it's no longer in a shadow. It moves from one side of the gate. The gate is like you can see, if you're seeing it with your physical eye, you will see like it's a rock or a cave. So it moves from one side of that cave to the other side. And then what shocked me is it stood, and then and when it is walking to the other side, it's not crawling the way it was crawling when it is on the earth. Now it has the two hands and the two legs, so it is walking like this, but it can also stand on those legs. So when it gets to this other side, it stands, and then it starts pressing it's like chords, and then when it presses, it opens, it gives way, and then it taps a lock. So I'm looking at all this. I've been instructed not to look at the eyes. Accidentally, I just find myself, I'm just a curious person, so I just find myself looking at the eyes. Now, what I also did not explain is the other shadow of that snake. I was seeing the eyes. The eyes were red. That's the only thing I could see. But the rest, I would just see a shadow. So now when I look at the eyes on this serpent, I'm seeing red eyes like the other shadow. So that's how I know that this is the same serpent. But now it has other abilities. It can stand. It can also use its hands. It can also open. It can communicate. And now when I looked at it, it produced the other sound that I had, that loud sound of a scream. So now that's when I knew that now I have messed up. And I was tortured, for violating the rules that I had been given. Then after that, they opened the 1st to the 7th gate. Now different demons. This snake is like the guard of the gate, and it makes sure that nobody has followed us, because I was seeing it was making sure that nobody has followed us, and to just make sure that they are safe. No one can access that place unless it has showed them the way. So it came and it showed us the way. It opened the portal for us, and now it's opening the gate. So after we've entered, is now when the demons now start opening for us the other gates. So we entered from that first gate, so the other 6 gates, and now that's when I find myself in the kingdom of darkness, in a place called hell, of which people think about the lake of fire when you talk about hell, but there is this place where Satan, the rebellious people, those people who are willing to sell their souls to the devil, where they go, different kinds of people. I was seeing different flags, different organizations, different, like it's a world, it's another world altogether. So the other thing now, that by then it was shocking, but now that I'm born again, I begin to understand. These things begin to make sense now that I know these things, and I now know the Bible. So when I compare this information, everything now begins to make sense.
Yeah.
So I get to the throne of Satan. It's built in form of a pyramid, but as you're walking there is a red carpet that is split into 2, like a tongue of a snake. And on top of the pyramid, behind the pyramid, it's like a mouth of a serpent that is open, and you can see the 2 fangs, and inside there is a throne. So the whole throne is in a mouth of a serpent, and the first time I'm seeing Satan is like he's coming from inside this serpent that is coiled around his throne. So he's coming and he's holding a human hand and a glass of blood. He's eating and he's drinking. But what I did not understand is that this serpent was his means of transport. So by then I'm thinking that he's staying in the serpent. He's coming. What I did not understand is that it is Satan who directed us through the serpent from the island
this is the place
into the portal, opened the gate for us, and now he's welcoming us into his world. So now that I'm born again is when I understand. Before, my way of viewing it, I thought that serpent is always on that throne, and that is Satan, where his maybe bedroom or other things that he doesn't want to expose outside are. So he's coming out of this